Hi, I'm Cameron Teal with Team 525.
And I am Mike Bryant with Team XL. Today we would like to discuss FCS Diagnostics.
The information presented in this video is applicable to citation CJ4s, citation XLO Plus, and XLS Gen 2, all of which have Collins ProLine 21 avionics suite. The FCS Diagnostics page provide a means to isolate faults within the flight control systems. Use the FCS Diagnostics if an autopilot or flight director problem is suspected.
FCS stands for Flight Control System. FCS Diagnostics refers to the process of running diagnostics tests on the flight control system to identify any faults or failures in the system. This can involve checking various components such as the autopilot, yaw damper, elevator drive servo, and other related systems to ensure that they are functioning properly. When encountering issues related to FCS, it is important to run diagnostics tests to pinpoint the root cause of the problem and take appropriate corrective actions.
The FCS Diagnostics are controlled by the Flight Guidance Computers, or FGCs. The FCS Diagnostics consists of three basic modes. The report mode shows selected internal FCS monitor information. The input mode, selected internal, shows inputs of the flight guidance computers, and the output mode shows the control selected outputs from the flight guidance computers as well.
Certain FGC diagnostics codes are sent to the Maintenance Data Computer, or MDC, and may be stored in the MDC non-volatile fault memory. The FGC sends diagnostics data to the MDC when appropriate bits are set. These codes show in the report mode.
The FGCs store the diagnostic codes in volatile memory. The FGCs begin recording data at power up and retain the data only while power remains on. When the aircraft is powered down, all accumulated data on the FGCs is lost. When investigating an FGC problem, write down all non-zero repair, AP engage, AP disengage, YD engage, and YD disengage report mode codes before power shutdown. Record all 6 digits of each code.
If the MDC fault memory is not full when the FGC codes are sent, this data is recorded in memory. The information in the MDC is now retained after power down. The information is shown in the aircraft history page as the FGC 350 and 351 diagnostic words. If the MDC fault memory is full when the FGC codes are sent, the data is not stored.
How to enter FCS Diagnostics. Aircraft must be on ground. FCS Diagnostics cannot be accessed while the aircraft is in air. Push the database button on the cursor control panel. The last page shown is displayed. If the page displayed is not FCS Diagnostics, push either menu button on the CCP, highlighted in red. The database menu shows. Turn the data knob on the CCP to highlight FCS Diagnostics.
The FCS Diagnostics page reports the status of internal monitors in the FGC computers. 5 selectable parameters show left FGC and right FGC data. To move around in FCS Diagnostics, follow operating instructions shown in the lower part of the MFD. Remember to record all non-zero fault codes before power shutdown. A report parameter list is provided. It gives each parameter available for display. The parameter names that denote errors show the total number of errors that have occurred since power up.
If any code is non-zero, go to the applicable left summary or right summary screen to interpret that code. The summary screens are dynamic displays showing code explanations in priority order. The top line is the highest priority.
If there is more than one problem, solve the highest priority first. Lower priority related items might also go out of view because of solving the highest priority problem.
Repair code is an error summary of events that occurred after power-up. AP engage code explains why the autopilot will not engage. AP disengage code explains why the autopilot disengages itself. The code latches to identify the cause of the last AP disengagement. YD engage code explains why the yaw dampener will not engage. YD disengage code explains why the yaw dampener disengaged itself.
For access to input mode for FCS Diagnostics, push the database button on the CCP. The last displayed database format will show on the MFD. Push the menu button if the displayed database format is not input mode. Turn the data knob on the CCP to highlight FCS Diagnostics page on the MFD. Report mode shows on the FCS Diagnostics. Push the Zoom plus button to change the display menu to input mode. Input mode shows signal information that is received by the FGCs. This mode is especially useful to isolate a failed unit that supplies data to the FGCs. 5 selectable parameters show signal data inputs to the left FGC and right FGC. If applicable, units of measure show adjacent to the parameter. Use the Orient button to select Input Mode Parameter Line. Use the joystick to change the input signal parameter on the line with the cursor. The Input Mode Parameter list shows all available input signal parameters. The most useful inputs are decoded and shown with a unit of measure such as feet or degrees so that this value can be easily compared with related displays/indications in the aircraft.
To show the output mode page on the MFD, perform the following. Push the database button. Push the menu button if the output mode is not showing on the MFD. Turn the data knob to highlight the FCS Diagnostics. Push the Push Select button to get access to the FCS Diagnostic page on the MFD. The report mode page shows. Push Zoom plus button twice to show output mode.
Output mode lists the selected modes from the FGCs. These outputs may be controlled if both FGCs are in diagnostics mode and the airplane is on the ground. 5 selectable output signals are available from the left FGC and right FGC. Use the Orient button on the CCP to select the desired output mode. Use the joystick to scroll the output signal parameter on the line with the cursor. The display source indicator is an arrow that points left or right to indicate which FGC is providing the displayed data to the MFD. In output mode, this indicator is especially useful. Both FGCs must be in output mode, not just in FCS Diagnostics, to fully utilize the modified options. Since only one FGC provides the displayed data to the MFD, it is helpful to push and hold the Orient button and check the selected mode of the other side FGC before beginning to troubleshoot using output mode. The arrow also indicates the controlling or master FGC when both outputs are synchronized. To exit FCS Diagnostics, perform the following. Push the database button to return to the last database format. Make sure that the word test in yellow does not show on the pilot or co-pilot PFDs.
Now we would like to run through an example of how FCS Diagnostics can work for you in helping to troubleshoot an autopilot or flight director problem. Let us say that on a CJ4 you have an autopilot fail. Moving the cursor down, we scroll to look at the AMP-Y errors. We see both FGCs counting faults. At this time, we would ring out both sets of TAC wires from the servo to the FGCs. If this rings good, we would replace the servo.
Thank you for joining us today. For questions, feel free to contact us at the phone number shown or the email provided.